I really wanted her to get eaten by the shark. I really wanted it to happen. I was disappointed it didn't happen.
Yeah, no, that I might have given a better rating if that happened.
Every now and
Yeah.
then, when it makes sense, we may stray from our formula a little bit, and this is one of those weeks where we're
So
going to do
surprise,
so.
motherfuckers! Mike did it. Is this the first time we've heavily discussed sport? That's good. I don't think we have, right? Any other episodes?
Probably not, but I thought it was very notable
No,
to
it
me
was.
in this
It was
movie.
good. No, solid job, Mike. Well, maybe define campy. Maybe you define. What's your definition of campy? Maybe I'm misusing the
Yeah, I
word,
guess
which
it's a
think quite
word
like.
that's a little hard to define. Welcome to Hate to See It with Mike and Sid, the talk show where we bring you a new movie review each week. Sid, what's going on?
It's beautiful Saturday, football playoff weekend.
It is. I'm looking forward to the games. They're going to start right after we record. But before that, we have something exciting to bring our audience.
We sure do. We've been talking about this episode outside of the podcast, but you and I have been chatting about this for a long time. But first, give a little backstory, and then I'll give some backstory as well, Mike.
Yeah, so quite a while ago at this point, it may have been 5 years ago or so. Uh, Me and our friend Steve from Throwbacks with the Technodrome, a channel that we guys recommend that you check out. It's an 80s and 90s nostalgia channel.
For sure.
Steve mentioned in our group text that he had never seen any of the Indiana Jones movies before.
Which is bizarre, right? Those are classics.
I mean, it's one of my favorite trilogies of all time. And I was shocked that he hadn't seen them. And I don't know how it got to this point, but I am not a big fan. Not that I dislike it. I like the original movie, but I'm just not a huge fan of the Jaws franchise, especially compared to some of our friends, including Steve. Like they absolutely love the Jaws franchise. They reference it all the time. Most of those references go over my head because I have only seen the original. And
But you
I
can't
didn't,
say you can't say you're not a fan though, right? If you've seen just the original though.
right. I'm not a fan of the franchise. I'm a fan of the original movie, but I'm not a fan of the franchise,
Or
I
you're
guess.
just not familiar, maybe.
Not familiar. Well, right. But in any event, I had never had a strong desire to see the sequels because I had always heard that they're bad movies. That they have a bad reputation. And Steve had mentioned, well, the second one is actually underrated. He thinks it's a good movie, and he said that I should see it. And somehow we got to this wager,
A gentleman's wager,
a gentleman's wager or agreement that he would watch
binded by law.
the Indiana Jones trilogy and I would watch the Jaws sequels, which I'm pretty sure I was inebriated when I made
No,
this
no, no, no,
agreement
don't get that bullshit.
because I
You guys,
didn't.
you guys made a wager.
I've never seen proof of the wager. I've never seen the
It was a
exact text
verbal agreement.
that we did in person, or was it on text?
Well, I don't know. It was an agreement between two
I'm not denying that there
people.
was an agreement. Look, I'm not denying that there was an agreement. I'm just surprised that I would have agreed to watch Jaws 3 and 4 because I am not a person who likes watching bad movies. Like I don't watch bad movies for fun. I like to watch good movies. I'm not the kind of person who gets in has fun watching the so bad it's good movie.
Yeah.
So I certainly understand why I would have agreed to watch Jaws 2 because he says it's underrated. It's generally regarded as the best of the sequels. It just surprises me that I would have agreed to watch.
But you agreed. You agreed to
I'm
it.
not disputing it. I
You
don't
agreed.
remember.
So what happened?
I don't
So
remember
Steve,
it.
so Steve, like a true scholar and gentleman, went ahead and watched the Indiana Jones trilogy
He did very quickly, I think.
very quickly. Because that's
Uh,
what, when friends make deals with each other, they try to
yeah.
honor them. And then what happened?
I think he said he didn't like them, which is just I was shocking to me. Because I think especially Raiders of the Lost Ark and Last Crusade are two of my favorite movies of all time.
No doubt.
And even Temple of Doom. I was texting you a few weeks ago. I rewatched Temple of Doom recently, and I think that
You
movie is
are?
yeah. I think that movie is underrated.
I
And I
remember
absolutely
texting.
I
But
absolutely love the opening sequence in Temple of Doom. I think it's fantastic.
Did you see the video recently with like the? I shouldn't laugh about it, but the boulder at Disney. I think it's Disney.
Oh yeah, that's terrible. I've seen that
Yeah.
that live show so many times, like over the years. It's just one of
Well,
the.
just really quick. So when they first opened up the ride in Disneyland, long time ago, right?
It's not a ride, it's a show.
No, no, but they have a ride as well in Disneyland.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, they do. Yep.
Okay, all right.
So anyway, so they have a live ride, and I was there when they just like recently opened it. It's brand new.
Mhm.
I'm very young. It's my mom, my sister, and I. And my mom bought a ton of shit. At this point, we're living in New York. So, we're visiting California. She buys a ton of shit. We go on a ride, and then it's one of those rides like when like the car, the vehicle doesn't have like doors. So not that you would fall off, you could potentially you could like fall off. So we were scared shitless. My mom was scared. She's grabbing us by dear life. All the fucking stuff that she bought flies off the ride. She loses all this shit. Like I don't know how we survived. I mean, I know how we survived, but like it was really shaky. Like it gave us all PTSD. I haven't gone on a ride. It took like 30 plus years to go back on that ride. But anyway, my mom complained so hard at Disney. She's like, I want a refund. I lost all my shit I bought. And it's surprisingly, they gave her a refund.
That's not that surprising.
Yeah, but I mean, when you go on a ride, you should know not to bring shit on there, right? So to me, it's like, you know what you're getting yourself into. So I thought that was surprising.
Yeah, I guess so. They
But
don't.
they have lockers, right? They have lockers for people to put their shit in there.
Yeah, but there was probably wasn't there someone who should have told her not to bring that on the ride?
They probably
Should
did. They probably
they,
said, don't bring it on the ride.
then they probably shouldn't have let her bring it on. Like nowadays they would take it from you, right? They have
Yeah,
all those cubbies on the side of the ride,
exactly.
so they probably I don't think they actually escalated it to legal. They probably just
Correct.
decided it's not worth
And then recently, I mean, a couple of years ago, I finally went back with my friend John, like 30 years after the original time. So full circle.
okay.
But anyway, so you agree, and then Steve follows up with you, and he's
Yeah, and
like,
I never followed up. I just because I like first of all, the Jaws movies are classified as horror movies. I've said it before on this channel. Horror is not a genre that I particularly
no,
care
you don't
for.
like it.
Uh, and I don't like watching bad movies. So I was just, like I know I agreed to do it,
You
but it's
agreed
like
it. And for years,
I
you
don't
kept
want to
bringing it
spend
up.
like my free evening like watching a bad movie. So I just kept on putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. And
So
when
I was gonna say, for 5 years, it keeps coming up.
it keeps
How
coming
you,
up, and he's gotten pretty salty about it, understandably.
yeah, he
Uh,
told you, he's like, I can't see myself being friends with you anymore. If I can't
but
trust you,
I'm a
it's
man
already
of my
over.
word. You
He
know who
said,
says
I mean,
that?
he said you're not his friend. He said you are his enemy.
Did he say that? I don't think
No.
so. So when we revived Hate to See It, one of the things we talked about doing was finally me watching these movies and reviewing them on
Yep.
the channel.
That was like one of the things I suggested. I was like, our first surprise episode should be a Jaws review
Right,
because our group chat will lose it. Like they would go nuts to see you finally started the process of satisfying the deal you made with one of your friends.
right. So this is a long-winded way of finally getting to the point. We're reviewing Jaws 2 this week.
Yes, we are. You finally watch it. I never thought this would have happened, Mike.
Was it your first time seeing it?
No, no, no. I've seen them all,
Oh, okay.
but it's my first time in a long time. As you know, I don't like to go back and watch older movies.
Yeah, you don't.
And I'm trying to keep our podcast current new movies. Like that's really what I want to do. You might have some other ideas. Like I don't want to really go back in time, but
Yeah, I generally agree with you. This is the focus of our show is going to remain new movies. That being said, there's going to be exceptions to our formula every once in a while. Last week we did an episode where we didn't review a movie. We just went over our favorites from
but that made
2025.
sense.
It
That
made
was
sense.
appropriate.
So I'm
Yeah.
just saying, every
Well,
now
if it
and
makes
then,
sense.
every now and then,
Yeah.
when it makes sense, we may stray from our formula a little bit. And this is one of those weeks where
So
we're going to do
surprise,
so.
motherfuckers. Mike did it.
So we're doing it. I finally saw Jaws 2. I actually just finished it
Oh,
right before we started
I
recording.
was worried. And the other thing, I didn't want to tell you this, but it costs money, right, to watch it.
Yeah, three ninety
So
nine on Amazon Prime. I thought it was going to be on Peacock. I thought because all the classic Universal movies I thought were on Peacock, but apparently not.
So I watched it maybe Monday or Tuesday, and I was searching everywhere to watch it for free, striking out, searching on Google, and then finally I had to pay. And I was like, shit, if I tell Mike ahead of time that we have to pay to watch this movie, he's gonna back out again. So I
You
purposely
know,
didn't say it. I waited for me to watch it first and for you to get ready to watch it before you
well,
found out.
well, I mean, we spend money every week to go watch a movie for this channel because we're all in.
Yeah, but I thought you were gonna make an excuse.
No, I wasn't going to make an excuse.
But I was worried. I was concerned.
So, with all of that, what do you say we get into the review of the movie?
Let's do it. By the way, I got our hate to see it t-shirt.
Yeah, that's awesome, Sid.
So I'm fully branded out.
Are they for sale?
Soon.
All right,
I'm working with a supplier.
we'll keep you posted. Let us know in the comments if
Dry
you're
fit. Don't you like
interested.
dry fit shirts?
What exactly is dry fit? I've heard the term before.
The Nike,
I
I
know
think
the
they,
socks, the dry fit socks
oh
that they make,
yeah.
but what
I,
are they really?
I just like the feel of it. I mean, I love Nike dry fit polos. I wear them all the time. I love Nike dry fit shirts.
Are
It's
they
just the
the?
fabric.
Is it kind of like water resistant? Is that
It
what it
might
is?
be. Yeah,
Okay, okay, I like sort of like a nylon type feeling to it.
potentially.
All right,
I
maybe.
just I just enjoy the way they feel on me.
Okay.
So let's get into it,
All right, let's get into our review of Jaws 2.
which will include spoilers.
Yeah, this is it's an old movie, so we figured we would weave spoilers into our discussion. So what'd you think of this movie, Sid?
So it's been many years since I've seen it. And I don't know if I agree with Steve that it's underrated. I don't know. It's a little campy, right? I think you'd agree with it. You could tell it didn't have the same impact of Jaws 1, like the technology, whatever they use. The shark kind of looked fake in this one compared to the first one, in my opinion.
You know, that's very interesting, Sid, because you just said two things that I don't think I agree with. I wasn't getting a campy vibe from this
Really?
movie. I thought it actually had quite a similar it felt like a sequel to the first movie, I thought.
Well, it
Uh,
was a sequel, and there's a reason why it's a sequel, right? They have the main character from the first one.
but it felt like even though Spielberg did not direct this one, it felt like he could have. I thought that I don't know who the director was, but it to me it felt like he was trying to replicate what Spielberg did in the first movie.
But did they explain? I think they explained why the shark was attacking people, right? Or was that
They
the other Jaws? Now I'm confused. I feel like it was trying to revenge.
oh yeah, there was I don't remember to be honest with you. But and then the other thing you said was the shark. I thought that they made a lot of improvements
Really,
with the shark. I was fairly impressed with the shark in this movie.
I don't know.
Because
To
what
me,
always stands out to me from the original Jaws is the final scene,
that's a
um,
classic scene.
the final kill, and that big shark that they created always stood out to me as looking incredibly fake.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I don't think there's a scene in this movie where the shark looked. I mean, it doesn't look real, but I thought it
No,
looked. I thought
but
it looked
even
good. I thought it looks pretty good, and I
I
thought
want
the dead orca on the beach looked good as
to.
well.
No, that one did. I like the orca.
Yeah.
That one, that one was. I thought they did a better job than the actual Jaws itself. Like the
Hmm.
shark to me, maybe after we watch the first one, Mike, maybe that's what it is.
Yeah,
Because
I
again,
haven't seen the first one in a while, but I remember it. So,
well, of
but
course you remember, but you don't remember how the shark exactly looks like. You know what I mean?
well, what sticks out to me is that the last scene, the last shark attack, and I just remember that it just looking like a joke. To be honest, I don't know if that's a hot take or not. And I didn't. I thought it was believable in this movie. But you said it had a campy vibe to it, and I wasn't getting that. I'm curious what you
Well,
think.
maybe define campy. Maybe you define what's your definition of campy? Maybe I'm
Um,
misusing the
yeah, I
word which
guess
I
it's a
do find
word
out.
that's a little hard to define. Um, I guess over the top. Uh,
Yeah, okay. I like that over the top. Maybe it doesn't push the limits of being over the top, but just like the final scene, how all the kids are together, like what are the odds? Like they all end up in the same area, and then the main character has to go like fight Jaws to protect them. Like a lot has to go wrong for them to end up together, right? In a
well,
sense.
didn't they plan on getting together?
I don't know.
They were all going to
Maybe.
go to that lighthouse, right?
Were they?
I
I don't
thought
remember.
so.
Maybe
Uh,
I'm misremembering.
but it anyway, it didn't stick out to me as a problem. Uh, well, I'll tell you right off the bat what I liked about the movie. Watching it on Amazon Prime, I was surprised. Uh, I don't know if the movie was restored. I don't know what version they have hosted on Amazon Prime. I thought it looks in mint condition. The movie looks incredible. I love the look of it. It's clearly, obviously, it's shot on film, which is a look that I like. But a lot of movies from that era, I guess this is late 70s, but a lot of movies from that era have this look to it that I don't think quite holds up. This movie looks like it may have been restored. I thought it was a great master of the film.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. It looked good. I just didn't like the shark. And going back to
Hmm.
the campiness, I think it was really the teens in the movie. It kind
Okay.
of felt like a horror slash, what's it called? Horror slash horror
Yeah.
type film.
Well, I will say, Mike's uh, Brody's son, Mike, his I guess love interest, one of the girls,
Yeah,
was her name Jackie?
potentially.
I forget what her name was. The one of the girls was named Jackie, but she is screaming at the top of her lungs, like hysterically at the end of this movie.
Oh yeah, yep.
I really wanted her to get eaten by the shark. I really wanted it to happen. I was disappointed it didn't happen.
Yeah, no, that I might have given a better rating if that happened.
Yeah.
It just for me it was this because the first one had such great characters, right? The team that goes out to kill the shark. Like you're saying, that's like one of the best scenes of all time in movie history. But now it's the main guy and a bunch of kids.
Yeah, I will say I think that is a big difference. The characters are much better in the first one. The kids, you're not as invested in them, and they don't give a as there's so many of them. They don't have I don't think they
Yeah,
really have enough time to give you enough backstory about them to make you care about them. The only ones you really care about are Mike and Sean. Maybe a couple of the others.
like I wanted more of the adults in the movie to get killed, like the people that were trying to tell him that there was no shark. I
Yeah.
needed to see more of that. I think that was the thing that disappointed me.
So a couple other things that I didn't like in the movie. Um, I I think the movie takes a little too long to get going. Like ex the fact that there's another shark back in Amity is not like confirmed. Like we know it as the viewers, but in terms of
Correct.
the characters, not until like
Yeah,
halfway
maybe
through
even
the movie,
longer.
maybe even longer, do they accept the fact that there's a shark. Yeah, even though we've seen these crazy deaths, the you know the I think the water skier one is fairly iconic because I feel like I've seen that before. That was a really cool one.
Yeah, no, that was a good death scene.
Um, but what I don't like in the movie is it uses this trope, which a lot of sequels use. In fact, it's present in Zootopia 2. That's the one that immediately comes to mind because we recently saw that movie where there's a hero from the first movie
Yep.
and he saves the day. And then in the second movie, it's like all the characters forget that he's the hero, and the hero's like, "Hey, it's happening again,"
It
and nobody listens to him. It's a trope in movies, and
is.
it takes place in this one, and it's kind of tired. Maybe it wasn't as tired back then in 1978, but that stood out to me as something that I didn't like.
Yeah, I mean that's one of the main parts of the story, and I think that's one of the reasons people didn't like this story compared to the first one. There were more stakes in the first one. It was more original, obviously.
And I have to say, I don't know if this is a hot take or not. Probably is a hot take. Uh, John Williams, who did the score for this movie and of course the original, is the GOAT in terms of movie composers.
It's not one of the
Star
goats.
Wars, Indiana Jones, Jurassic Park, Harry Potter, and so many more. I think the musical composition in this movie is good from a musical standpoint. I think many of the scenes, it just does not fit the scene. There are these scenes where the music is very whimsical. Reminds me very much of Harry Potter, which Harry Potter obviously came decades after this movie, but like the whimsical themes, like very much fit Harry Potter because it's a fantasy movie,
Correct.
don't fit this movie.
No, and it's not memorable.
And
Like the first one didn't have the impact.
there are scenes where the score is way too loud. It's like drowning out what's going on in the movie, and it very much is telling you how to feel. Like, oh, feel this emotion. But there are scenes where the score is very good. It stood out to me, the uh, scuba diving scene
In the
where
beginning, the first one.
no, the second one where
Okay.
the scuba
Oh,
diver.
the school. Yeah,
Yes, and the
the
scuba diver
class.
sees the shark at the bottom of the ocean, then comes to the surface too quickly. The music is very well done there.
Yep, that's a good one.
When the music is focusing more on the bass notes, strings, and uh, lower brass instruments, and it's less melodic, that is when the score works very, very well, and when it's quieter. And it really stood out to me. There are a number of scenes where there's no score whatsoever. Towards the end of the movie, there's a scene where the kids are all gathered together on the boat. There had been the first shark attack that that they all survive, and now they're all gathered on the boat. And the editing is very well done at this part of the movie. They're just pretty long takes focusing on each of their faces on the boat. You can really see what their emotions are. And there's no score whatsoever. It's just quiet.
He's phoning it in, I feel like.
I think the movie needed more quiet because
Hmm.
I think that actually can build more tension
Well, that's
than
why the first one's so iconic.
yeah. So I mean, there were good scenes in the movie, and that one I thought was one of them. But yeah, there were scenes where it's just the score really I thought got in the way of the
Is this
movie.
the first time we've heavily discussed score? That's good. I don't think we have, right? Any other episodes?
Probably not, but I thought it was very notable
No,
to
it
me in
was. It
this
was good.
movie.
Solid job, Mike.
Yeah. And by the way, I have not decided how I'm going to review this movie. I'm kind of working it out with you right now. I think I know where I'm leaning, but I went into it. I came out of the movie kind of undecided. I just like I said, I just finished watching the movie. Yeah, there were things I liked about the movie. As I mentioned, I like the cinematography is great. I think it looks pristine. I like a lot. I like the editing in the movie. I miss this style of editing where there's longer takes. And
Mm.
then in the action, the takes get quicker, but that's the way it should be. And so many of the modern movies have this herky jerky rapid editing that I just is
So,
overdone.
so my opinion, like it had a lot of the elements needed to make a great film,
Yeah.
but there were things again with the character choices, the revenge factor. To me, again, seemed a little over the top, especially the last scene with the helicopter, even the boat explosion in the beginning of the movie, right? When the woman she starts drenching Jaws the shark in gasoline, right, and she takes out the flare, shoots the flare, and then it just explodes and kills her. Like,
So I think when you said the word campy, like that could be considered
yeah,
campy.
that is campy.
The
Yeah.
other scene that is campy is I think it's called a sea copter, the helicopter that can land on
Yes.
the water. The way that shark just totally takes out the helicopter, that could be considered
Yeah,
campy.
you expect that in one of those what's method not Method Man. What are those shark movies that came out with like, oh, Jason Statham's in it.
The Meg, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like that's
People
a
like
scene
those
that
movies. I've heard they're pretty good movies.
they're campy. They're supposed to they're campy movies, right?
Yeah. So I see where you're coming from now.
I expect that in the Meg.
Right. Um, so yeah, there's stuff I liked about the movie. There's stuff I didn't like about the movie. Now, you mentioned you don't think it's underrated, Jaws 2?
All right, maybe it's underrated in the
Well,
fact because the other ones are probably so bad
but
that you
I
could.
guess I just want to clarify. Sorry for interrupting, but like
Yeah,
in order to say whether a movie's overrated or
yeah.
underrated, first you need to establish like what is your understanding of how like what is the consensus about the movie? Because I had always heard the sequels are bad. So the reputation, so I thought Jaws 2 was bad, but now like learning a little bit more from like what Steve has said and also from others, I've heard, you know, people are somewhat divided on Jaws 2. It has its fans, and it's not considered like a universally bad movie. It's kind of like mixed. Like, some people like
But,
it, some people
but
don't like it.
I think that's a conversation for after we watch the third and fourth film
Okay.
because you need some context. I feel like, right? Because I feel
Hmm.
like based on if the third and fourth sucks so bad, sometimes people will just group everything and be like, the first was so good and the next three were bad. That's the argument people are going to have. But then you can take a step back, like, well, maybe the second one wasn't as bad as the other ones. Maybe it's underrated. So
Hmm.
I guess you need some context. I don't know. I don't know if it's underrated. Maybe. I think it would help us if we marathon this, watch all four. Fine. I'll say it's underrated. Slightly underrated.
Okay, all right, that's
What about
fair.
you? What would you say?
I would agree. Yeah, because I went into these movies with low expectations, and I had a good time watching the movie. I've mentioned some of the issues that I have with the movie. I don't think it's a great movie by any means, but it's not a bad movie.
No, it's not. All right, it's yeah, correct. It's not a bad movie. It's enjoyable.
Yeah, I had a good time watching it.
Yeah, especially if you've seen it so many years ago and you're revisiting it like I did. Like, yeah, you're not going to pass it up.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I don't anticipate like revisiting this movie anytime soon. But maybe like 10 years from now, it might be a good time to revisit. It was
What
a
do you
good
think of
time.
the ending?
That it did call. I was trying to figure out how they were going to kill the shark, so it was a surprise to me. It was cool.
Yeah, it was cool, but I get where they ended it, but I kind of wanted him to get his redemption arc and then go back home to town and be like, I did it. I killed the shark. You guys didn't believe me. I saved the kids. But again, it's like a 2 hour movie, so there wasn't enough time to add that extra scene.
Hmm.
But yeah,
Now,
no,
I think I remember you had said like was this shark trying to get revenge from the first
yeah,
Jaws
I
movie?
think it
And
was
the line that I think I remember was Brody says something about he asks is it a marine biologist, the
correct.
one
Yep.
who's examining the orca?
Yes.
And I think he says something about like if dolphins die, then like some other dolphins might come to the scene of the death. Does that ring a bell? Did he
Yes,
say
it
something?
does.
And he
Yep.
asked if like sharks could do the same thing or something like
Correct.
that. I think that might have been what was
No,
you
there
were.
were. Yeah,
Yeah,
they were trying to heavily hint that this shark, this great white, was taking revenge.
right, right.
And I wonder if the marketing for this film was like that as well.
Which is funny because the fourth one is called Jaws: The Revenge,
Yes. Yeah.
but this
So it takes
is
even more revenge.
more Revenger.
Yep. The third one actually, it's funny. I gotta rewatch the third one, but I think the third one was my second favorite of the four.
Now that one was released in 3D, right?
I think so. Or was it the
And
fourth one?
no, I think it's Jaws 3D because it's Jaws
Oh
3,
yeah,
3, Jaws
3D
3D.
makes sense.
I wonder if there's a way to watch it in 3D. I mean, it's so hard to watch 3D movies at home these days because they don't make 3D televisions anymore, I don't
No,
think.
my
But
friend John had like a 3D headset or whatever it was back in the day for movies. Oh, by the way, when we're talking about why our friends really like it, rest in peace. But a good friend Dirk, who's probably the biggest Jaws fan of the group, his cat was named after one of the characters from the first one.
oh, really?
Hopper. Is it Hooper? Hopper? The main guy, the second main guy.
Richard Dreyfuss?
Yes. Yep.
Okay, I didn't know that. Well, he actually had his 40th birthday earlier this year, and the whole party was Jaws themed. He had
Yeah,
a
he loves Jaws.
Jaws cake and everything.
He's gonna be so pumped that you watch this movie. Him and
Yeah.
Castania are gonna love this.
So, anything you have else to say about the movie? I
No,
think
no, I'm just proud of you. I'm proud of you for watching this film, Mike.
I
And
think I think we've done a good job of covering what we liked
yeah,
about it, what we
let's rate
didn't.
it.
Okay, do you want to go first or should I go
You
first?
go first.
Okay, so I've kind of gone over what I liked about the movie, what I don't like about the movie. Uh, the movie was better than I expected. I had a good time watching the movie. Like I said, I love the cinematography. I love the editing. I do think the movie gets off to a slow start. I have problems with the score in the movie. I do think the effects in the movie were improved. I do think, like you said, that the characters are certainly not as compelling, the
No,
focus on the kids as they are in the first movie. So I'm genuinely like sort of on the fence about this movie. It's not a bad movie. It's not a great movie. I don't even necessarily think it's a good movie, but I did have a pretty good time watching the movie. I'm glad I watched it. And to throw our friends who love this franchise a bone, I'm going to put it in the love to see it category.
Okay. So how many stars would you give it, you think,
So
in the letterbox?
what's the lowest we could give it, and it would still be love to see it? Is it 3 stars?
I think it is 3. I favorited this. Let me go to my
So
favorite.
truly love to see it is 5 or 4.5. Love
Yep.
to see it is 4, 3.5, or
Okay,
3.
yeah. Yeah,
So I would
love.
give it
Three,
three.
3.5, or 4.
I would give it 3 out of 5 stars. I think that's a pretty fair
Yeah,
rating.
same here. I love to see it. Give it 3 stars in letterbox. We agree on this one.
Okay, and
We got there in different ways, but we did it.
again, Steve has mentioned to us that it's better than when we disagree about a movie. But
Yes.
this movie, even though our rating is the same, you mentioned we got there in different ways because
Yep.
there were different things that we liked about the movie, different things we disliked about the movie. So I thought it was a good conversation.
I mean, that's the thing with movies, right? Everyone's going to have their different, they're going to take away something when they view it.
Yeah, so this was really fun to discuss with you, Sid. I'm glad we finally
You finally did it.
I finally did it. Now I still have not made good on the bet.
No.
We've got to do Jaws 3 and Jaws the Revenge. We don't have a schedule. It's going to happen. It's going to happen this year. I guarantee that. But we don't know exactly what kind of schedule it's going to come out
Yeah, we
on.
may not review it. You might just watch it on your own.
That's true. It's true.
Or maybe,
I think I'd like to do one more of them at least.
yeah, I think one of them would be appropriate just
Yeah.
to conclude the gentleman's wager.
And maybe I'll do a short if we don't do a full review of one of them. Maybe I'll do a short and upload it to the channel and give my thoughts.
But this
But
was a surprise episode.
it was fun.
And to conclude, what are we watching next week? What are we reviewing?
We're doing Bradley Cooper's latest movie, Is This Thing On, starring Will Arnett and Laura Dern. It's about a married couple going through a divorce.
Yeah, we don't have to explain it now. But yeah,
And
that's what
yeah,
we're seeing.
and
I
yeah,
saw last night.
you saw it. I have not seen it yet. I'm seeing it. We're recording on a Saturday. This episode will come out on a Wednesday. I'm seeing it Tuesday.
Nice.
And,
Tuesday. Shit. So when are we recorded?
We have plenty of time because that's
true.
that's
I got you.
The next episode. And I'm gonna sign up for A-list, so it'll be my first A-list movie.
Nice. Is this thing on? All right, folks. Till next time.
All right, thanks for tuning in, everyone. We hope you enjoyed this retro review, and please tune in next time.
Review.
A throwback review, exactly. So please tune in next time. Bye.